The Autism Society of America and all of its affiliates are highly nonpartisan and will never endorse any candidate for elected office. Rather, we attempt to educate people on the issues impacting individuals and families impacted by autism, including letting them know what positions elected officials, as well as those seeking such office, may or may not take on various public policy and legislative issues. The Autism Society will provide any declared candidate running for presidency who's securing at least 1% support in national polls equal time to any other candidate to appear on this show and discuss their plans. They also may choose to have a representative speak on their behalf. The Autism Society of America will not allow any speaker at any Autism Society event or on this show to speak harmful words against any other candidate or use the time with the Autism Society to suggest, imply, or state that the Autism Society is supportive of their candidacy. What do you think would be required of this administration, of a Clinton administration, if you will, if elected, to implement the plan in terms of funding, support from the disability community, and any kind of changes in current policy?
Thank you very much again, Stephanie. In regards to corporations, I think what needs to be done is that corporations need to understand that individuals with autism are a tremendous asset to their workforce. They want the job, they're willing to do the job, they're loyal, and they're not going to be really leaving the job if they feel like they're accomplishing something. The rate of people staying employed, those with disabilities, is extremely high. So the loyalty for a company is tremendous for any employer, from those of us with disabilities and particularly from autism. And so what we need to do is to educate employers about that. I've said to the last 5 presidents that I don't know of any group in American society who wants to pay taxes, except for one, those of us with disabilities. And the reason is that we want to pay taxes because having a job is what it's all about. It's what our American system is all about. We're able to buy a car, or be able to have a house or rent a house, buy it, whatever. But we're able to participate in society like anybody else. And that's what's key in this whole autism effort, is that we need to educate employers that individuals with autism can be very, very employable and very effective for what they need to have done. But that's going to take something from the bully pulpit. That is what's important with Hillary when she gets elected, is to take this autism plan and be aggressive in making sure that it's implemented, but by also not by taking a whip and passing every law and every regulation that says that you have to do X, Y, and Z, because that'll never get anywhere. But it's basically convincing business leaders, bringing them in, talking to them about what her plan is in regards to autism, and the fact that they, as employers, need to employ people with with autism so that they understand how effective individuals with autism can be for their bottom line, et cetera. That's what it's all about. We can add to the bottom line, and that's what employers want. So we can do it.
I mean, it's a great plan. I'm anxious to see if some of the other candidates follow suit with something similar to address such a pressing need in our community. I'm also curious to know what your stance is on the fact that we have so many adults with autism now ready to enter the workforce, and whose primary caregivers, I think we touched on this earlier, are getting maybe too old to care for them. What do you think a Clinton administration would do to help this issue or help solve this issue in the community going forward? Aside from,
I think that by putting out this plan, Hillary has basically said that as President of the United States, she understands the growing need within the autism community. The numbers are getting bigger and bigger all the time. And that is a result of our ability to detect that individuals with autism, and an acknowledgement on the part of families and everything else that there are those of us with disabilities within their family and so on. But that is now coming, and it's a real big issue for the autism community, because the thing that Hillary hears all the time, are mothers and fathers and grandmothers and grandfathers who were concerned about their child or their grandchild when the adults pass on. Mm-hmm. And that as these individuals grow older, what's going to happen? My partner's niece is 26, and she has autism, but she functions about the age of a 7 or 8-year-old. And the difficulty there is that her grandmother is as concerned as her mother and as her uncle is about what is going to happen to her when they all pass. Mm-hmm. And so that is what Hillary's worried about. People come to her and explain this in detail, and it's important that we change what's taking place today and getting employers to understand the tremendous value that individuals with autism can be to their company. That's the key. And that has to come from the bullet pulpit. That has to come from bringing people in and pushing and explaining the needs there. That's why this whole proposal of hers is so important, because it's signaling to everybody that she's really committed. She's really committed in making a difference here. And it's not something that some underling has proposed. It's something that she wants, that she's very involved with and very concerned about and committed to making that difference.
The Autism Society of America and all of its affiliates are highly nonpartisan and will never endorse any candidate for elected office. Rather, we attempt to educate people on the issues impacting individuals and families impacted by autism, including letting them know what positions elected officials, as well as those seeking such office, may or may not take on various public policy and legislative issues. The Autism Society will provide any declared candidate running for presidency who's securing at least 1% support in national polls equal time to any other candidate to appear on this show and discuss their plans. They also may choose to have a representative speak on their behalf. The Autism Society of America will not allow any speaker at any Autism Society event or on this show to speak harmful words against any other candidate or use the time with the Autism Society to suggest, imply, or state that the Autism Society is supportive of their candidacy.